are on the floor. That's what we're doing today. Going through my final haul. This is the last yarn for 2025, or at least the last yarn before I go into my 4-to-1. What do we call it? Stash downing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, 4-to-1 means I have to use 4 balls for every one that comes in. Why? I've run out of space. Which is kind of clear from this. But almost all of the yarn in these packages or bags in front of me are for a particular project. So they were bought with intention, with a plan, with a purpose. Or they sort of fit my current yarn personality. Hi and welcome. Sorry, I jumped right in. There's a lot to do today and I didn't even say hello. Hello, welcome. If you're new, hi, I'm Ellen and this is Yarn Doc. And if you're a returning friend, hi, welcome back. So glad to see you. Yeah, this is my prep. A lot of it is for new designs and patterns that will come out in 2026. And some of it is gift yarn. Some of it I grabbed because I knew I wanted to work with, and I saw that horrible word that we as yarnies hate to see, discontinued. Anyway, that is what is in all these packages. There's more boxes on the floor here. I had to pull over my desk chair so that I would be able to reach some of this stuff. So that is what you're seeing in the front screen here. It's just a lot. There is one exception to my 4-to-1 rule, just one exception, and that is gifted yarn, because gifted yarn is so nice and generous and I love to receive it, but I have no control over that. So if I'm frantically using up to buy a sweater's quantity of yarn and all of a sudden somebody gives me some lovely hanks of yarn from I don't know where or for what occasion, you know, I have birthdays and anniversaries and all those kind of things that I might be given yarn for. My kids tend to bring me souvenir yarn from their travels now that they're older and they know what I love. So, and that's actually where I think I will start today in just a minute. But that is my one exception is gifted yarn. There I'm not putting any bounds or restrictions on it, mostly because I don't have any control over that. So I'm sorry for my voice, friends. I am still sick with this cold, flu, whatever. I don't know. My husband and I both just can't shake this, and we're just still trying to press on with some normal life. But I think I'm going to be able to have a relaxing stay at home, get some organization back into this house, because with the two of us being sick for so long, it's a disaster. But so I apologize that I sound a little bit like a frog, but it's that or not do videos. So as I said, I'm going to start with some gifted yarn because it's really fun. My eldest son was here on the weekend, and he, since I saw him last, has been to Scotland. And he knows me well, and he knows that some Scottish yarn would be right up my alley. So, and I kind of knew it was coming because I was getting questions about what kind of yarn I liked while he was in Scotland. So he went to Kate's. If you're familiar with Edinburgh and the yarn scene there, this is a yarn shop that is in the tourist area, very centrally located, but it's located on a lower level. So you kind of have to know it's there to know it's there, or you could miss it. But he brought me 3 yarns, and they are all Scottish wool. So he knew that that would be what would be important to me to get from Scotland. And so the first one is this lovely hank with greens and blues from Ripple Crafts. And that is, I have you further away from me today, so to try and put things up so that you can see it, I have quite the reach. This is hand wash, which is really something I recommend with all hand-dyed yarns, is wash them themselves. And especially the first time you wash hand-dyed, is you want to wash it separate from other things, because they do their very, very best, but the dye can run, and you don't want to spoil other things because of that. So this is 100% superwash blue-faced Leicester yarn, and it's 100 grams for approximately 400 meters. It's 4-ply yarn, which is sort of fingering weight. They're saying that they're all unique, even if they're dyed in the same batch, which is fine because he brought me 1 hank, so I don't have to worry about that. And the color is called A Freezing Cold Dip in the Sea. And I think you can see that. Yeah, so that is the first one he brought me, and that'll go up there. Where do I put stuff once I've showed it to you? Because every surface has yarn on it. Okay, I'm gonna move that and put those in there. Okay, the second skein he bought me is from Addercairns. I think it's Addercairns Yarns. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna get the squats in today. So this says it's a sport weight. It is also superwash blue-faced Leicester, 75%, and then 25% nylon. This is a high twist yarn, which refers to the way in which it's spun. And high twist often gives you this sort of more textured look to it. So that is usually the result of a high twist. It says I can wash it at 30 degrees, lie it flat to dry, and don't iron it. And this says it's 375 meters. And then it made me cry. Why? Why did yarn make me cry? Because it's beautiful? Well, it is beautiful, but the name of it is Gordon. And one of my sons has a middle name Gordon for my uncle who passed, and my mother's brother, older brother. And it was just a special moment, and I saw it and I was just like, and that is the Scottish side of the family. So this was a very meaningful hank for me. And that was just an extra special moment, you know. They say that the name of yarn doesn't matter, but it does to me. Like I buy yarn sometimes because of the name, and then he also got me a ball of JC Rennie. This is Storm, which is color 288, 50 grams, 100% Shetland wool, for 215 meters, recommending 3.25 millimeter, which is apparently a US 3. I'm a millimeter girl. That's what I go with. Hand wash or dry clean, dry flat. And this is Shetland. Yeah. Very pretty color. So I would say the son did well. He knew I'd been interested in the Rennie and the Jameson, just wanting to see and touch and play with some of this Shetland yarn. So when he saw it, he bought it for me. He's like, I hope these are jewel tones. He's like, I asked them to show me some thin jewel tone Scottish yarn. And so I think he did very well. I think he did very well. Then I'm going to go here because it's right here. This is something I found last night. Literally last night. We were in Hildesheim, which is a little town in Western Germany where our oldest is studying restoration. And she is also a certified bookbinder, a trained bookbinder. And they have this interesting sort of pop-up crafters marketplace kind of store. And it was a holiday in our state and not the others. So it was the perfect opportunity for us to drive across the country for a day, visit with our kid, and see her little store in this pop-up crafters market. She has lovely stuff. She does such good work. We're so proud of her. But there was also a hand-dyed yarn place in there. And so it's Die Kleine Farberei. And I bought three different skeins with 3 different bases. And so the one I'm going to show you is the tweed sock base. It's 100 grams for 420 meters. She recommends the same thing that I said, wash it on its own the first time. Can be washed in the machine for 30. So it must be super washed, but it doesn't say that. It just says 75% sheep wool and 25% polyamide. So I got this really pretty sort of mint green with the other colors woven in. And in the back of my mind, I had the idea that green is the favorite color of one of my son's support workers, who just always goes over and above her job description. And I thought maybe I could make something for her with it. These were so underpriced. These are so underpriced for what they are. This was 12 euros. If I bought it at a Woolfest or a yarn show or that, it would have been twice that price. And probably should be twice that price. So I couldn't resist. I couldn't say no to this young local-ish artist. And so I sort of got one of each of the bases I liked. There were 2 other bases that were just a little bit too rustic for my taste. You know, I'm a soft wool girly, but I did pick up a few. So this is Bamboo Viscose 400. I'm not sure what the 400 I guess stands for the meterage, because there's 400 meters in it. 100 grams. And it is 60% sheep wool, 25% bamboo, viscose from bamboo, and 15% PA. Polyacrylic, maybe? I think maybe it's polyacrylic. Same washing instructions as the other. And of course, I picked the one that didn't have a price on it and didn't have a ball band, which caused the young artists at the cash a little bit of trouble, because the way it works is it's kind of like a co-op marketplace. And so each of the artists that has the booth works certain shifts in the store. They were not wool artists, that was clear. So we I had to help a little bit. But anyway, I did get the colorway I wanted. Which, you know, surprise, surprise, blues and greens on this channel. Surely not. And then I'm following it with a pink. This is lace yarn, lace garn. Garn is yarn in German. 800. So that probably means there's 800 meters in it. It's 100 grams. Yes, 800 meters. And it is apparently the same makeup as the last one, the 60% wool, 25% bamboo, and 15% PA. This one was a little pricier. Went all the way up to 15 euros, but it's very pretty. It does have some black chunks in it. So I just thought that's going to make a pretty lacy shawl. But for now, it's going to decorate my pegboard up there. And while I'm on to the hand-dyed, before I went on a ban, I wanted to order some rosemary and pines, some of her naturally hand-dyed yarn. And she had said, I follow her like it's a religion here on YouTube, and highly recommend her channel. If I'm losing my voice already, we're in trouble. That she hadn't been doing a lot of yarn lately, so there wasn't a lot available on her Etsy shop. And I even wanted to get some multiple skeins of I only got minis, and I wanted to get some multiple skeins of them, but they had one left on. So she sent me a little cup of tea, which I think I will make once I finish shooting this video and enjoy it on my throat. I'm not much of a tea drinker usually, but peach and orange sounds, chamomile with peach and orange infusion, sounds like just what I need right now. So I actually was just expecting with 3 minis that it was just going to come in an envelope, domestic mail, but it came in a nice box, everything wrapped in tissue. Very nice. And then with good information on, this is my favorite. I'll start with my favorite. It is the Luster Sock DK. It's just a 15 gram mini hank. But there is 250, there's 250 meters for 100 grams. Okay, I was thinking there's no way there's 250. I need to read the whole thing. That's clear. And this is 100% German merino wool. Now, German merino is a little bit grabbier than the merinos that you get from the underworld. Australia, New Zealand, that part. Having to do with the different climate that we have here as opposed to there. But this particular one, this luster base that she has, is really sort of soft and smooth. I would have no objection to this. And it feels more like the merino that you probably think of in your head when you hear merino. So this is a pretty blue color. And I'm not sure what she used to dye the various colors with. I thought that would be really interesting and fun information to have, to be like, this one was done with, I don't know, I'm not a yarn dyer, onions or tomatoes or chamomile, or I don't know what you use to dye. But I also got sort of, I think it is the same shade of blue, but it's a different base. This is her Merino Lino, which is 20 grams. And it is 85% German merino wool and 15% linen. And it's still, we're starting to get a little more rusticy, but linen, before it's been washed and sort of worked with, does have that coarser texture to it. So I think once this was actually worked up and used in a garment, it would end up being quite soft, but with that nice bounce from the wool. And the final one I have is 100% German merino wool. It's a 15 gram, and it's Classic Sock Decay. And this one is fairly rustic. Really rustic, but a pretty purple. I don't have plans. I just wanted to support this YouTuber who I really, really enjoy her content. If you haven't seen her sort of Knitting Around the World series, check that out. Her stuff is excellent. Like, she's sort of like a professional, whereas I get on here and I chat about yarn. She has done her research. She's put together. It looks, she's good. So before I went on such a strict, in and out policy, I just wanted a little bit of yarn from her. Now, all of this is for one project. And you have seen some of this before. I'm sorry, I'm getting really congested. I may have to take a little break here. I'm going to see if I can just pull out one ball of each of the colors. Okay. So I grabbed a ball of each of my colors. Those three in the middle are actually different. And they really are neons. They're not coming out as neon-y in this sort of artificial winter light as they really are. They're super bright. But those three in the middle are three different colors. This is an orange, a pink, and a neon coral. And I will probably just use sort of the orange and the pink. But I have 4 balls of each. I have 4 balls of each. And I ended up with an odd number, which isn't great because the project is 12 unique squares. So I kind of need an even number. So I will figure that out. But I had 4 balls of the neon, and that's what I had. I got influenced by my mother because I don't know, I saw them for the first time in this, like, it's kind of an everything store, like from hardware to gardening to, and they have a teeny tiny little yarn section, but sometimes they have closeouts, and one of my favorite yarns is a Grindle yarn, Grindle Norwegia, and it was discontinued. But sometimes I find it in there, random balls of it, and so I scoop it. So every time I sort of go past, I run in to just see, do they have some of that? That might have to be an exception to the 4-to-1 rule because it's almost impossible to find, and if I see it, I am going to buy it. It's just going to happen. And they had 4 of the colors there. They had these 4. And I just bought them because I just responded to the neons. I don't know if it was like growing up in the 80s or something, but I mean, I don't have neon as I'm wearing a bright pink, but this is not neon, it's raspberry, my sweater. It really is. It's very different. I just couldn't walk away. And they were just over €1 a skein. I mean, this is not expensive. This is Grindle Lisa Premium Uni. And it's 100% acrylic yarn. I've had a lot of it over the years. Done a lot of kids stuff with Grindle and Lisa and the acrylics. It's basically the same yarn as the Big Mama Uni, but there is also the huge 400-gram balls of Lisa available. And so it's a yarn I'm very familiar with, but these neon colors, they got me. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And I was watching Knitting Natty, and she was showing her blankets that she had made. And she had made the Yorkshire blanket, which I had like an eyeball on. It was a cowl from last year, I think, from Mima Makes, who is another one of my favorite YouTubers. And she had done it in fancy, high-end, sort of neon colored yarns. And those squares popped. I never would have thought of doing that blanket in neon until I saw, and the more neon they were on Natalie's blanket, the more the squares popped and the details shone through, which actually I thought showed off the blanket better than Mima's original, because she had used sort of high-end yarns, but with a little bit of variegation and speckle in that, which sort of hid some of those textural details. And it was just, to me, as soon as I saw that, it was clear. I'm like, I am doing the Yorkshire blanket in neon. I'm going to do it starting January 1st, and I'm going to do it as a little make-along. So I know that at least one of you has already said they're going to join me in this little make-along, but I'm going to open it up to everybody, and hopefully we can share our photos as we go and just build a little community. And if I get 20 of you doing a little make-along, I'll choose one of you at random and we'll do a little prize, a little make-along prize for it. So those are the blanket colors. Exactly how and what and how many squares of each color and that I'm going to do, I'm not sure. But I had done the math and I needed 4 balls of the 4 original colors in order to make the complete blanket in the size that she had recommended. But then I found the blue and the green and the actually proper pink neon. So I had the orange and the coral, and I was thinking the coral was pink. But then I found, oh no, there is actually a pink neon as well. So I bought 4 balls of each of those as well. So I'm going to have way too much yarn for it. But if I have some of that orange, coral, and pink left, it would be really a really fun gradient project that I could make with that after. And then for my border color, I got some more Grindle Happy. This is my current favorite acrylic. Is the Grindle Happy. It's 100% acrylic. It is just super soft. It glides on my hook. I love it. So I could get Lisa in black. Lisa is not my favorite yarn to work with. I do have a review of it. If you go and watch it, Be Kind to Me, it's one of the very first ones that I did. And I wasn't doing them the way that I do them now with full projects and that. So be gentle on me if you go and watch that. But it isn't one of my favorite yarns. But Happy it's the same weight of yarn. It's also 100% acrylic, same kind of washing instructions. So I decided I'd spend twice as much per ball and go with the Happy. If they'd had the neon colors in Happy, the whole thing would be Happy. But how many times can I say Happy? Okay, sorry about that. There's sort of a big edit cut there. I got a little froggy, horsey. Didn't really have a pleasant voice, so I stopped for a second, had a little drink, blew my nose, all that kind of stuff. So I'm back. I figured I was just showing you a big Grindle project, so I will show you 2 other large Grindle projects. I ordered a 10-pack of the Grindle Shetland. This is a 80% acrylic, but 20% wool yarn. It's soft with that good wool. You know, that it's just that squish that only wool has. With the 20%, it does give the yarn that squish, but it is just sheep wool, so like regular sheep as opposed to, say, merino or that. So the kind that has a higher micron count. And my kids are like, that sounds like a disease. It doesn't sound like something you want to have. And it's like, it's true. You want as few microns as possible. And so general sheep or something like Shetland sheep or that is usually, you know, up there in the high 20s, 28 or something like that in the micron count. Some sheep can get up into the 30s, whereas your merino is going to be down in your low 20s. And there are doing some kinds of merino where they're sort of descaling it. This is getting beyond my tech, but can get as low as like 17, 18 microns. All that to say is that the high acrylic content, one, gives it a little bit more strength, and two, gives it the softness. So it's a really nice combo blend because you do get that lovely squish and fluff of wool and the softness and the benefits of the acrylic. All that to say, I do like the Grindle Shetlands. I don't tend to make wearables from it because of the colors. They tend to be fairly muted colors and towards the pastels. But this is not for, this is a project. It's not for a garment. It is for a huge, massive floor basket. And I am going to hold them double with the mystery mini hanks that I got from Lithuania. And make myself a huge basket for the office. And in that basket, I want to put all of my current projects so that they have a home that they live on, that they live in, and can just be here, and I can grab and put them away, and yet it looks nice and decorative and yeah, all of that goodness. So that is for that project. And that, I'm still in like Christmas make up here. But that is probably the first project after that, because the overall project that is not about fiber is getting this new, much smaller office organized and structured and, you know, a space that I want to be in and craft in. Right now, it's just, you can't see it, but sort of every part of the room that you can't see right now kind of looks like this. So that is also part of this stash down, but I do have other things in here, like my husband is turning 50 in January, and I am collecting what I call the 50-50 presents. So he's going to get 50 presents, all individually wrapped, that all have the number 50 on them somewhere. And some serious stuff, like nice stuff that he might actually want, but other things like a lipstick that's color number 50, or 50 dog poop bags. Yeah. As long as there's a 50 on it, a 50-gram yarn hank, yes, there is one of those in there, absolutely. But that is also in here, so once he gets older, that can leave my office as well. So it's just really squishy. This is also a 10-pack that I bought, and this is the Grindle Happy. It is not so easy to open this bag, so I would like to wait until I'm actually ready to work with it. But in the new year, I am going to release a pullover sweater pattern. Oh, are you seeing the color? It's a beautiful teal color, leaning more towards the green than the blue. But it really is a true teal. I would almost call it peacock. But that is for my next sweater pattern. And that is going to be a pullover, rounded yoke, top down sweater. And it's called Sunset on the Aegean. So this gives you the water. And then I have some other colors of Grundle Happy that were already here and stashed to do the color work. So it will have a large color work yoke and then go down in sort of a tunic style. This I bought from an Etsy seller from the name of Miss Puppinella. Miss Puppinella. German, and it is a baubles advent, which I haven't seen too often. I think baubles might be a little more popular here in Germany than in other places. If you're not sure what a bauble is, it is those cakes that are the 3 or 4 loose threads. So they haven't been plied together. I know that in the US, a lot of people buy them from Hobby, or I'm trying to think of who else sells them. Temu sells them. I have used one of the Temu's cakes before. They're not bad, but I have a favorite. I put the scissors away too soon. I have a favorite bauble maker here in Germany. Zauber Mauswolle, and in fact I'm supposed to be working on all this Christmas stuff. I had, I don't know, design inspiration and started working on a collection using Zauber Mauswolle baubles, but I am planning for this to do the Imagination Cow, which is starting, I believe the pattern is released on the 29th. It is, again, a Mima Makes cow. I think she usually does a blanket one around this time of year. And she was working with a local to her yarn dyer. She's in Yorkshire, England, I believe. So I came to the game way too late to even consider ordering that advent. It's an Anne of Green Gables theme. But she also put together a kit with Wool Warehouse using, is it Drops? I think it's Drops Saffron. And it was sold out by the time I got there. That was my plan. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to need my own advent. And so I went looking. I didn't know if I was going to do an advent or what I would do, but I went looking on Etsy and I found this bauble advent, and she had several different options. Like, I think there were 6 or 7 different inspiration pictures you could choose from. Extremely reasonably priced. I don't mind working from a bauble at all, even for a blanket. And so I thought, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that. And that's what we will be doing here for Vlogmas. So if you're interested in that and how that works out, join me for Vlogmas. That was a sneaky way of saying subscribe. Turn on your notifications. All that good stuff. Okay, so there's a lovely little letter in here from Michelle, Miss Puppinella. But I also bought an extra kind of mini bauble just because I couldn't resist the colors. Look at those. Maybe I'm entering my neon era. I don't know. I just thought, oh, I can't resist. I couldn't. And it was so, like, it was, I think, in our bargain bin, and it's only 500 meters, so it's not going to make a huge triangle shawl or that, but it will make sort of a lacy shrug wrap. So this one is 4 strings. I will come up to you again. So you can see there, they're the 4 individual strands of thread that are not plied together, but you just work them as if they were one. And yeah, so 500 meters, I think they were a cotton acrylic blend. They do not say here on the meterage. I will show you that QR code. I don't know where it takes you, but it's on my bauble. So if you are interested in looking at her stuff, you can do that. So yeah, it does not tell me. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, that they are cotton acrylic. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah. So, and then they come individually bagged with the numbers on. Unfortunately, they have the fat man on them. We don't do Santa at all in this house. We just don't. And the only exception to that is they watch The Grinch. And there's some family history in that, going back to Gordon. And so my little one that's named after him, his nickname was the Grinch, and so we call the little one Baby Grinch, especially around this time of year. And they love the new Grinch movie. Love it. So that's the only Santa that gets in this house, but yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. I will just keep it in the box. Let me just keep it in the box. And then pull out one each day, and we'll take a look at that, and I will find out on the 29th what I will be doing with each of those as we go. I don't know what's in that box. I know what's in the bags. Let's pull the Mayflower bags down. Oh, I do know what's in the box. Okay. I'm going to try not to show addresses. I'm so bad with stuff like that. Such a bad YouTuber in some ways. So I had ordered from Mayflower because I have another sweater design for 2026. In April, I want to do a make-along for Autism Awareness Month. And I have a cardigan, which I am calling the Spectrum cardigan. And so I have bought yarn for that. And why did I buy a second order? I know I ordered it on Singles Day because there was free shipping, so I didn't actually have to spend as much as I usually do, which I think is 75 euros on Mayflower for me to get free shipping, which is not so difficult. Sorry, I'm getting froggy again. Not so difficult, but I had just, like, not even a full week before, made a large order for what I knew I needed. Oh, yes. And then I saw an ad, Mayflower ad, that said that these yarns that are in their outlet that are some of my favorites were being discontinued. And I'm like, I don't know. Is that true? Is that a translation issue? Because Facebook and that auto translates the German. So I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to take a chance, and then it was free shipping. And so this is actually the second order. What do I have? So I ordered a bunch of Mary. I feel like a little bit of a juggler. If you were here last week for Whipping It Up Wednesday, last week, the week before, if you've been following my Whipping It Up Wednesday, you know I had a wool yarn that I bought in Aachen, Germany on a trip with my daughter. I was making her a scarf with it, and it wasn't enough with the 2 balls really for a proper length adult size scarf. And my plan had always been to put it with a different yarn, and it just was not working. Mary is the same thickness, just about the same blend. This is a 30% virgin wool and 70% polyacrylic, 50 grams for 150 meters. And the other was 80-20 for 146 meters. So very close. And I have already made the squares with that yarn. So I needed to put it together, but she's not going to need 2 scarves done in the exact same pattern. I ended up using a different wool to make hers, and I think she will like it a little bit better, the one that I ended up making it in. But anyway, I got this thinking I was going to do it as a little bit of a fade, but this is almost the same blue as what I had ordered, and I thought it would go in the middle, but anyway, it's a nice soft wool blend. In fact, it says soft wool blend on it. So this is color 30 and this is color 25. This is a navy. It's looking a little black on screen, but that's winter artificial light. Yeah, it really is a dark navy. Anyway, 5 out of 7 kids, no. 4 out of 7 kids have blue as their favorite color. One of the aunts, my husband's sister, my sister now for like 9 years, blue is her favorite color. It'll get used. And now I have enough to do something with. So that is why I bought that. I also bought, I'm missing a ball. I'm missing a ball. I bought 10 balls of the green, but I only have 9. It's fallen open in the back. I bought 10 balls of the green. And since it's open in the back, I can easily pull one out. It really is sort of a nice emerald green. Not sure the color is coming as richly as it is in person, to make myself a sweater at some point. It is not a current planned sweater, but if it is discontinued, I didn't want to miss my opportunity to buy actually a very nice wool blend yarn that I know I like to work with for under €2 a ball, a donut. You can't beat that. And then one little splurge
This was also on special offer on Singles Day. But it was just under €6 for the skein. So I only bought one because there is 610 meters. That's enough to do a little like scarfette, decorative scarf with. It's supposed to be sock yarn, but mostly I don't make socks. Eventually I will knit at least one pair of socks, pure woolen socks for my husband, but I'm not there yet. He likes wool socks. Well, I've promised him that someday he will get a pair of hand knitted socks, but that day is not this day, and that's not what I bought it for. I bought one skein of this first class cashmere sock, also in that same beautiful rich emeraldy green color, foresty green maybe. It's made in Italy, which isn't surprising for cashmere. So there's only 10% cashmere in it. The rest is 65% virgin wool and 25% polyamide. But I have been looking at it for a while and thinking about trying it. I mean, you put cashmere on something and yeah, I want to check it out. But I've had some bad experience buying cashmere that just wasn't great. And some sock yarns are lovely and luscious and soft, and some are some I don't want on my feet. So I just thought, I'm just going to check it out. I'm going to go with one skein and see. It's really squishy. I'm enjoying doing this with it. So yeah, that was just a little one skein wonder to satisfy my curiosity. And I hate to say it because it sounds so cliche at this point, but maybe a little Sophie scarf. You know, the little one. So really, I think if I made a Sophie whatever, the one that I'm most interested in is that hood. The other Mayflower, ripping into the bag, is, I think this is all a full bag, pretty much of the same yarn. Let me say, as I open the box, I do know what is in here. Okay, I'm back. I got through the Fort Knox of boxes. This is like, oh, this is like the most protected I have ever received yarn. There's bubble wrap around it too. Well, that was, oh, I would say overkill. So this is not technically an advent. This is a collection of their cotton yarn in mini skeins. And I am going to, and there are way more than 24. I think there are, does it say? This is their lightweight cotton. Cotton Junior collection number 1. I think there are 48 skeins in here. And I'm going to get my daughter to go through and pull out 24 of them, put them into a little, I ended up with an extra refillable advent calendar. Some of my bigger kids have moved out, and get her to put one in each of those little stockings and sort of have a make my own advent calendar. I have been eyeing the Mayflower cotton. I've tried a couple of them, and one I wasn't keen on and one I like significantly more. But the one that I like is in the outlet, and so maybe in this road to discontinued. So I thought this was a good opportunity to try sort of their regular ongoing cotton base and see how I like it. I really am moving away from cotton. I just am not. I just don't find that I'm enjoying my cotton projects. And now I haven't been using great cotton. Been using mostly Grundle Quick Cotton. But the summer tops that I made this year, I made them mostly out of like a sport weight acrylic. And they're light, but they hold in all of the heat. And so if I'm going to make summer clothes, especially for the teenage daughter, I really feel like I need to find a good cotton for that. And I thought this would be a good opportunity. I am making a blanket with my favorite squares. I'm going to just do a Willow Granny blanket. So a square a day in the colors. I'll put them together and figure out a border color once I see what all my colors are. So that will be my little makeshift advent calendar that I kind of created on my own. So I'm not opening it for you, but if you join me for Vlogmas, you will see each and every one of those. Something else wrapped in bubble wrap in here. Oh yes, this was, they have it, I think they have it at the moment still. Sorry, I'm getting adjusted again. Free with purchase set of their crochet hooks. This is their Create collection. And I think this set usually sells for about 35 euros. And so if you spent, I don't remember how much I had to spend. I think it was like 47. Then you could get this. This tin with the 48 minis was 20 euros. It was on special offer as part of their Black Month. How we've gone from a day to a month, I don't know, but we have. Okay, and everything else in here is the same. And this is project-based for the most part. I wanted this dark gray. And this is the Mayflower Baby Alpaca. It is one of my favorite yarns. If you saw my washer disaster, this is the yarn that I felted in my son's rainbow hat and scarf set. So you can felt alpaca, and this will felt if you wash it at 90 degrees in your washing machine. It is 60% alpaca, 40% nylon. It's a dream to work with. And this will be the base color of my Spectrum cardigan that, again, I will be working on and hopefully releasing in April for that make-along. I got it in the dark gray. I'm looking at it and can't come up with the color. But I also got some other colors. Just the dark green, the light blue, the this one is called Sun-Dried Tomato. So they have a very, very bright red that I used in my son's scarf. And then they had quite a dark blue, and for the rainbow work, I thought this lighter blue would be better because I ended up using the dark blue and the dark green, and it's very hard to sort of tell them apart in the rainbow, and in a rainbow they go side by side. So these colors had been out of stock, and so that is why they are not in my collection, which is over here. I've got a huge tub of it. Basically, I'm ending up with almost every color. Let me put those in there. Let's see, are there other colors that... This is the other green. It's not coming up on the...
So those are the two shades of the green.
I bought quite a bunch of this green because I really, really like the color. Really like the color. So I think I bought 5 balls of that. They are only 100 meters per ball. So you do actually need quite a few balls, more of the tomato. What else do I have down here? Oh, I bought another whole package of the gray, which seems to have come out of the, or maybe I bought 15 balls. I think I bought 15 balls because I like to have over 2,000 meters for a sweater for me, but there's quite a bit of color work that is going onto the cardigan. So of my base color, I think I needed about 1,500 meters. So more of the blue. There's 2 more in here, but yeah, the dark green and the tomato red. So there's that. Getting tired? You need to pause to get yourself a fresh beverage. It's wise. I pause well. Okay. I shouldn't try to make jokes. That's not my forte, but feel free to pause me at any time. Sometimes I miss commercials. You know, commercials always gave me the opportunity to go to the washroom. Like, how do you get through a TV movie without going to the washroom? I don't know. Especially after babies. Or when you get to a certain age. I have all of those things working against me. But I was with my kids. And we do YouTube Premium, so there's no commercials. I don't know that they have ever watched something like on actual TV. Everything is just streaming, you know. Netflix, Disney Plus, all the things. And was it while we were in Toronto at my mom's house? We were watching something and a commercial came on and they started screaming like, our show. And they're like, what is this? And I'm like, it's a commercial. They're like, what's a commercial? What's it for? I'm like, for going to the washroom. Everybody, let's go potty. Just this like horror. What is a commercial? It's like, oh, I'm old. I was like, back in my day. When we had to walk to school uphill both ways. If you have been around in the last little bit, you know that I have become obsessed with a combination of Tunisian knit and crochet, Tunitshe. And I'm, 2 weeks in? Yeah, just about, not even quite 2 weeks in. I have made 3 projects using Tunitshe in this time, and I have sketched and done the math for a sweater. And I made one of the scarves as a gift, but I loved it so much. It was so hard for me to gift, and I decided I am going to make the sweater out of that yarn. So that's the reason I ordered this order. Sorry. This is the Nako Angorella. Yeah, Angorella. It has no Angora in it. No rabbit, no goat, nothing. It does have a halo on it, and I think that's where they're getting this sort of Angora thing to it. And so there is sort of what looks like sort of hairy fuzz to it. But it is 100% acrylic. 100% acrylic. Really easy to work with. Works great for to-knit. If you wanted to just do sort of a standard scarf, one of these is just about the perfect size for a perfect size scarf. There's just over 400 meters exactly, it says. So it's 100 grams for 400 meters. I cast on 30 to-knit stitches in it, and just went right to the end of the ball and came out with just a perfect sweater. It's a sweater. We are almost done, and it sounds like I need to be. But this will become my to-knit sweater. Probably sooner than it should be on the project list, but I love it. And if it works out, then maybe I will put sort of a basic pattern or outline or something on how to do it. And then, so that I did not have to pay for shipping, I also ordered this Alizé Lana Gold. It is easy to open. Oh, well, that feels very different than I was expecting. Of course, on the ball that I pull out, it looks like a solid color. It is not. Wow. It is 51% acrylic, 49% wool. It is, oh, it's got that crunch. Let me bring it close to you and see if you can hear it. You hear that? That's what it feels like. It is not at all what I was expecting. I will do a review of this yarn because I'm really interested to see how blocking will affect that texture. I knew it was a little thicker when I bought it because it's 100 grams but only 240 meters in it. So it's probably a 4 weight. I would say it's a worsted weight. It is wash at 30, lie it flat to dry. You can steam it. They are recommending 4 to 5 millimeter knitting needles. I will use a larger crochet hook than that. I would like a 7 millimeter. If anyone can tell me of a good inline 7 millimeter hook, because my beloved Susan Bates are just not made in 7 millimeter. They're just not. And I have been on a hunt. I don't like, oh, that was going to sound harsh. I was going to say, I don't like the prim hooks. I just don't like plastic hooks. I just don't. Even though in general they are a nice hook and they're the right shape and form and everything, but plastic is just not my jam. And the furls are just, I just can't do it. I just can't spend that kind of money on a hook. That's like a sweater's quantity of yarn from Mayflower. I just, oh, yeah. I may end up having to break down, but that's probably what I would like to use. But I want to show you here that it is not a solid color. This is the same yarn, just wrapped from a different spot. So it's not solids. Oh, it is not the same yarn. Okay, I bought them to work together with, and that is not going to work. It's not going to work. because the Angora Gold is a significantly lighter weight. Okay, I have 2 different yarns. Wonder why I did that. Anyway, I don't remember. But this is a different yarn. This is the Alize Angora Gold. It is beautiful in the colorway. It is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. Sounds the same as the Lana Gold. It is 100 gram for 550 meters. You see why I can't put these 2 together. Yeah, but everything else is the same on it. So this is the Batik. What is a gold Batik? And this will make a lovely, what did I say? I've got 550. I've got 2 of them. So 1,010. 1,100. That would be, sorry folks. Luckily this is the last ball. We have come to the end. 1,100. And this will become a nice shawl. Very pretty. Very pretty. And hopefully in 80% acrylic. I might get it a little softer if I block it. We shall see. We shall see. I think I bought them both to review. But they would have worked nicely together if they were the same weight of yarn, but they're not. So, okay, 2 different projects, 2 different reviews. That'll be the new year. My yarn reviews are complete for the rest of the year. And then that's what's coming up. Yeah. Vlogmas with all these Advent adventures. And then after Christmas for New Year's Eve, I am doing my 10 favorite yarns from 2025. So of all the ones that I've reviewed or worked with, I'm going to show you the 10 that I like most. Then we come into the new year and we've got some make-alongs. I will have 2 make-alongs starting in January and all kinds of fibery goodness happening around here. So do subscribe, do hit those notifications. If you liked all of this massive yarn hoopla, if you could even remember where we started with, and these upcoming projects, please hit that like button. Hype, I don't even know what this is. It's like every time I feel like I'm starting to get a handle on YouTube, they add new terminology. What is a hype? Anyway, if you can do it and you feel motivated to hype. And yeah, what are you looking forward to or looking forward to seeing, or was there any of these that were particularly interesting to you? Let's chat in the comments section. It's one of my favorite part of doing these videos is getting to chat with you afterwards, rather than just talk at you. It's so much more fun to interact. So please do all that lovely YouTube-y stuff. And until next time, my friends, happy stitching.